Adam22 is me, the homie B. How's everyone doing today? Today we got a no jumper clip. We got Adam22 explaining why he hasn't given Brick Baby any money while being locked up. Let's get
I
right
put
into
out a
it.
video about the Brick Baby situation. There was some stuff that he said on stream, or not on stream, but on a jail call to his girl while I was away. I addressed it in the video, and I guess I'm bringing it to the table right now so we can kind of have a conversation about it. What was you guys' thoughts on this piece that I put out?
Well, my first thought was that I understood what you were saying when your confusion was like, damn, when I talk to you on the phone, where's this energy?
Right.
And then the next day you have to hear about it through third parties and publicly. I can understand your frustration there. And I think Brick is probably just in a feeling kind of desperate, you know what I mean? Like his back's against the wall. The amount of money it costs to fight cases of this magnitude are fucking crazy. And, you know, he's got what, 5 kids? More? Four kids.
Okay.
He take care of more than that though. He has like a lot of people he take care of. So, you know, the financial thing is probably really stressful. I feel bad that I can't do more for him. I already have I put about $100 a month to the side for my partners in jail, for Lil C, for Norm, for Ronnie Alma. It's not that much, you feel me? But it's what I can afford. So on my next paycheck, I'm gonna shoot Brick another note. That's what I can do. I wish I could have more money for him.
For sure. And definitely, I think Friday we're going to do a music stream / whatever stream, just talking and stuff. And we're going to basically give that money to Brick. And we're also plotting on some t-shirts, some free Brick Baby t-shirts, so that we can raise some more money for him in that regard. I guess basically, like, I was trying to prompt a conversation with that video about the fact that, you know, I feel like I'm in kind of a weird spot because of the fact that, you know, he got locked up. There was already a sizable debt. I had let him borrow a pretty significant amount of money from my perspective. And it's like, you know, I know that he looks at me as somebody who's got his life together and have done fairly well for myself over the years. But the truth is that No Jumper, in kind of a tricky spot. Obviously, we did the whole going broke narrative, had that whole conversation a couple of weeks ago and everything. But, you know, it's a weird spot to be in because I wish that I could fully support him and that I could kind of make these problems go away. I wish I could just cop the boy a lawyer. That would be amazing. But realistically, there's only so much that I could do. And it's like we went weeks where he didn't ask me for anything. So this is kind of like all just sort of like come about over the course of like the last week. I felt like he wasn't asking me because I had just let him borrow more money like right before he got locked up. So I know he probably like didn't really want to ask me for it, but it's like from my perspective, there's got to be a limit on how much I'm really expected to do for somebody who does podcasts on the channel, in particular because of the fact, and I don't think I mentioned this in the video, but it's like Brick's case doesn't have anything to do with me. You know, it's like, it's not, he didn't catch the case because of anything he did on camera. Even the stuff that did happen on camera that makes his case a little bit worse, like the fact that they pointed out that he had a gun in his waistline on his last time on the podcast right before they arrested him. Like, I didn't know that. I never had a...
So, as a grown man, I feel everyone has to deal with their own problems and what they got going on in life. Brick was a employee, or is still currently an employee at No Jumper. So I feel that, you know, at the end of the day, him and Adam do have a, you know, friend relationship, whatever. But I don't think that Adam don't owe him nothing. I mean, you know, it's cool to put money on his books, whatnot. You know, that's what homies do. But paying for his lawyer stuff and trying to get him out and fight for his case, that could get real expensive. Like, real expensive. But it would be enough to just put money on his books, to be honest. And Adam was saying that he gave Brick like a total, I think like 7, 8 racks or something. That's a lot of money. For me personally, if I gave someone, I don't know, 500 to a rack, that's already a lot. And he said that he never even asked Brick for it. So, you know, it was a long time ago, but still, that's a lot of money. And what he said was that Brick never brought it up or nothing or tried to pay him back for it. So Adam's still trying to send Brick money through making shirts for him and all the music reactions. That's still love, you know. That's still showing love and looking out for him. And he's not even, you know, he's still trying to give him money and pay him somehow, some way, and he's not even on No Jumper, you know, obviously because he's locked up. But I personally think that Adam is doing a good job of trying to help Brick out. But paying for lawyer fees and help him fight his case, like that's doing too much. Like you asking for a lot for a guy who owes me 7-8 racks. And on top of that, it's like, you know, Brick had some issues in the past and they caught up with him. He incriminated himself on camera plenty of times. But, you know, I think it was the video with him and Loose Cannon when they were potting together. I think they could have blurred it out what was on his waist. Yeah, they could have blurred it out for sure, you know. Like, I'm pretty sure someone brought it up to Adam Sessions like, hey, look, Brick got something right there. Adam could have been like, you know, like blur that out. Or one of the crew members, whatever, however they do it, however they edit the videos, could have, like, let's blur that out and not show that. So, yeah.
Conversation with him about if he was bringing a strap to work or anything like that. But it's not like he got locked up defending me or defending the business or something. Maybe that situation would be a little bit different. You know, this was purely stuff that realistically, like almost everything that he's in trouble for is stuff that happened even before he started working at No Jumper.
Do you think that if he didn't have the $8,000 or so debt to you previous to this incarceration?
You put the dollar amount out there?
I did. I put it in the video. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not, yeah. He said that he had.
I think me and Stoney just getting up to speed.
Okay, so
Yeah.
in the original, when Brick got locked up, I guess it was around the time he was first coming over here.
Yeah, it was within like the first month or two that he was doing podcasts on the channel that he basically got the feds running up in his crib. Yeah.
Yeah, so he got busted then, and Adam shot him 5 bands, and then I guess recently you shot him another few bands. So
Yeah.
if he didn't already have that balance, would you think it would be a different situation?
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. I would probably be like more forthcoming in terms of trying to make shit easier on him and everything like that. It's just like when somebody already has a pretty sizable debt to me, it's like I'm just not the kind of person who's just gonna act like $5,000 is not a lot. $5,000 to me is still a shitload, regardless of whatever I got going on. You know.
Well, especially it's got to be kind of weird when you have this relationship. Is in order to have chemistry on a podcast, there has to be a level of friendship. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you have this employer-employee relationship. So it's like,
And forever, it's always unbelievably tricky when you have somebody who's working for you and then you start to become friends, because there's like a certain way that you would like to be able to act for your friends, and then there's a certain way that you consider it appropriate to act with somebody who works for me. You know, and so that's kind of like a tricky balance. And I see a lot of people in the comments who clearly don't understand that is kind of a precarious balance, because, like, you know, people will be looking at it, be like, oh, to Adam, everything is just business. And it's like, well, this is someone who works for the brand. So it's like, yeah, it is kind of business. And at a certain point, it's like, I have to move accordingly, right?
I mean, I'll say this. I've been in so many dire financial situations since I started working here, and I've never once asked No Jumper, you, or anybody affiliated with No Jumper for money in any capacity. Just because, like, I feel like it will fuck up potentially the dynamics and the relationships over here if I did that. You know what I mean?
And especially when there's never even a discussion or any kind of like consideration about paying it back, which is obviously the case in this situation. Like, I don't mean to like rub it in or act like it's
So they know, like, oh, I got you on the first type shit.
Nah. And to be fair, I never brought it up. And if I had, then, you know, maybe he would have like tried to.
But when you owe somebody money, they ain't supposed to come looking for it. You're supposed to pay it back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But have you ever been broke and had a rich friend?
Oh,
Never
pretty
been
much
cake.
no to both of those. I never really had a rich friend like prior to all the no jumper stuff. I never really had a friend who had more money than me that I was like real friends with, you know? Like I always kind of was like the guy who had like a little bit of money and then all my friends were broke.
I've been broke with rich friends.
Just to be totally real. Like even the BMX days, I kind of always had more money than like pretty much everybody that I was hanging out with, even though at that time, like me having money was like, oh, I had like 10 grand in the bank. You know, it wasn't like I was like killing it or anything.
I think Brett kind of looking like I'm good as long as I got my boy, my friend that's up some M's. I'm gonna be forever straight, and that's probably his mindset. But you shouldn't be thinking like that. And then if you do, you should keep your credit clean. Like man, pay it back. You know what I'm saying? So then you can always
go back and
you
get
can
it
always
again.
Yeah, that's real tricky because this guy, how do you owe that much and not like one time bring it up like, hey, you know, I'll pay you a rack here, pay you a rack there, because 8 racks is a lot of money to owe somebody, and just in general, just owing someone sucks because it's just always going to be above your head. Like, you can't really do certain. I mean, you can do certain stuff, but like you'll be a shitty person if you could move this way and still have that depth above your head. A lot, that much depth at that, you know. But like just always somebody in general just sucks. Like, damn, I can't even I can't even go to the mall or something, you know, and pull up on them like, damn, that's a nice outfit you got, or you know, that's a damn new sneaker. Okay, you owe me 7 8 racks. Damn, okay. Oh, you know, you're able to, you know, put down on a card, like shit like that, you know. It's just you can't really. I don't know. Me personally, I can't be comfortable with owing someone death and being able to just live my life, you know, living my best life. Like that's crazy. If you owe someone, just pay, get it out the way, and on top of that, it's good. You know, always keeping a good relationship.
go back because they know you good for it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I mean, but the other thing is like the reason why I never said like, yo, can you pay me back on this time of schedule or whatever is because my assumption about how he would go get some money is not really like something that I wanted to like encourage him to do.
Might be a liability.
This is a guy who has been, you know, in the streets for a percentage of his life, pretty much the whole life until recently, I guess. And, you know, I didn't want to like be like, yo, like you got to go do this so that you could help me out. I just figured he would pay it back if he got the chance or whatever. So like, I don't know. I made that video today just to try to like explain that shit to the world. And then in particular, it just really kind of rubbed me the wrong way seeing him say things on a jail call that was so different than the tone that we were dealing with on camera or on the phone when it was just me and him. And then in addition, for Sharp to be making videos and making it like he's got inside information from talking to Brick, that really pissed me off because especially like if me and you are homies.
Oh boy, yeah, Sharp Sharp will work Adam's nerves. Sharp and Adam. Sheesh, I gotta watch that, but I didn't even see that.
Why is someone like Sharp, who is a bottom-dwelling piece of dog shit, why is he coming out with exclusive information that, you know, yeah, part of me thinks like maybe Sharp was just saying that, but then part of me also is like Sharp swearing up and down in the video that he's like, I don't think, I know. You know, when he's making it 100% clear that he knows for a fact that this is how the situation is between me and Brick, I got to take that a certain way. And if this is really your boy and he's saying that and it's not coming from you, then you should probably have something to say about that.
I think a lot of people's like rebuttal or question that they would have for you in this moment isn't no jumper kind of like.
All right, I'm gonna leave it at that, yo. I just want to hear a little bit about what Adam had to say about, you know, all right, yo. Easy Call TV, we out. Yo, I was kicking with me, the homie B. Like, comment, subscribe. We on the road to 1K. Let's go.